Greetings YouTube, time for another bargain video. This is actually being filmed not that long ago after the last one. It's just that I'm going to be spacing these out. So I have a bunch of stuff in this particular one that's going to be for my nephews. So a lot of this stuff is going to get packed up and shipped off. So only some of this is going to stay here. And then of course a lot of it will only be here temporarily. In fact, I just got rid of a bunch of stuff from my to-read pile just today. I realized these books I was not going to get to, or I had found other books of the same topic that I wanted to read more, so I got rid of an entire box of books today. I just donated that to a thrift shop. So first up we have Castles by Alan Lee, written by David Day, and that is for my nephews. As is 101 Animal Secrets from Scholastic. The Practical Handyman's Encyclopedia, that one's for me. It is just wonderful. It's from like the 1950s, I think. It's completely over the top. I'll have to do a review of that one. Myth, its meaning and functions in ancient and other cultures by G.S. Kirk. Never heard of that one, but it looked pretty good. The Astounding Wolfman, Volume 1. I've never heard of this comic. I like the art style. It kind of reminded me somewhat of my friend Scott Wegner. This is by Robert Kirkman and Jason Howard. So I thought I'd give that a read. Then we have Jared Diamond's Collapse, How Societies Choose to Fail or Succeed. And he is the author of the Pulitzer Prize winning Guns, Germs, and Steel, a book I cannot recommend highly enough. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. Then we have the National Audubon Society's Pocket Guide to the Constellations. That is for my nephews. The Art of the Catapult, that one is for me. Build Greek Ballista, Roman onagers, English trebuchets, and more ancient artillery. So that one's going to be for my collection. Hyperbole and a Half, Unfortunate Situations, Flawed Coping Mechanisms, Mayhem, and Other Things That Happened. And if anyone who is a netizen knows, Ali Broche, is active online, has been doing comic books for a long time, and I got this for $1 at a thrift shop today. I thought I'd give it a read in my hand as opposed to looking at it online. Sometimes I just prefer to have stuff in my hand. The physicality of a book is just so much more pleasing. Then we have a bunch of Dover coloring books, and these are from the 70s, from what I can tell. One date was exactly this 1970, but all of them are from the same era. And we have Mythical Beasts coloring books, which is mine. I'm keeping that one. Then we have the coloring book of American Indians, Ancient Egyptian Design, and Ancient Greece. And I have some more in the next section. And the nice thing about these is that if you photocopy these pictures, you can use them again and again. So a parent doesn't have to, it's not like a one-off thing. You have the kid color it once and never again. And it's awesome. I mean, that will make a great mask design for a kid. You know, so stuff like this it's fully educational, but it also can be purely for entertainment or for costuming and things like that. Next section. Here we have some more of the Dover coloring books. Here we have Celtic Designs. Then we have the Middle Ages, and I thought I kind of like this one. This made me smile. It's it's the classic style of artwork from that era, but done in a comic book form. Just so cool. There's a Viking longship. Oh, I saw an awesome handmade wooden ship at one of the thrift shops today. That was the perfect scale for 25mm figures. It would have made an awesome elven longship, magic ship, because it had no other oars or anything. But it was $10, and I don't need it, so I didn't buy it. It was very, very cool. And we have the Japanese kite coloring book. So designs for kites, but still very cool graphics, which could be used for art projects. And we have a single DVD this time, Daywatch, the unrated version. I have not watched Daywatch, so I've heard things about it, but I haven't watched it. And we have a handmade wooden box, and it's very shallow. It's got velvet lining, so I'm assuming it's supposed to be for either jewelry or a presentation of some variety, your pens or something in here. I don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to ask my wife. She hasn't seen it yet. Or if I may just use this as a box to give a gift to someone else in. It was only $2. But it's really, really well made, and it's got little rubber nubbins on the bottom so it doesn't move around, which is kind of nice. So this is This is handmade. I don't know why someone would give that up, but it's just beautiful. Then we have a Fruit Ninja. That's for my wife, and I'm actually going to hide it, so she has to find the ninja. And that's the Fruit Ninja is sitting in a wok. And I purchased the wok because I got it for $1 at a thrift shop, because woks are made of pretty decent steel, and I'm going to turn it into a buckler. So it's not going to remain a wok for long. That's not easy to say. Then we have a metal outhouse, which is actually designed for a candle. You put a votive in there. And I did not buy it for that because I don't burn candles. But my wife and her mother plan on doing a gnome diorama in a window box. So this is about the scale that they're going to be working with. So I got them a gnome outhouse. Then we have an actual Texas Instrument TI-30 with case and both manuals. Electronic slide rule calculator. And yes, it works. Just awesome. I actually had one of these when I was a kid, even though I have no idea how to use almost any of these functions, because I am verging on the completely and utterly math illiterate. That's just the way it is. We have a 225 lumen Bushnell flashlight. I got that at a pawn shop for 15 bucks, which is less than the normal price, which was going online between $23 and $25. And that is a Cree bulb. And I don't own any Bushnell stuff. I want to see what the quality's like. So that's why I picked it up, just to give it a test. Then I picked up a couple of lights, the battery-operated push lights. And I think I may use those for illuminating some inaccessible points in my tool storage, my gear storage. And for $2, it's not much of a buy-in. Then we have a SOG, the logo, SOG Spirit, and it comes apart right there, and this becomes a spearhead. And I bought it as a spearhead. I had a gift card for Walmart, so that only cost me 10 bucks. It's normally 35. Which I frankly think is overpriced for this particular item, but that's just me. Its use is very limited. Then we have a bug. I'm not sure what kind of bug this is, but it's a bug set in a resin. It's an actual bug, and I bought that as for a gift for a friend of mine who deals in bugs. And then we have a small wrench, which is made in the United States. Whoops, here you go. You probably can't read that. And it's designed for getting into awkward angles for loosening screws and tightening screws, which is why it's got things set at the angles that they are. They don't actually turn, they're just designed to but it needs some love. Someone didn't take care of it. And I got it strictly because it was a nice little tool, and I can clean it up, and I can make it look better, and give it a better home. Sometimes I buy stuff to give them homes. I know, I have a problem. Then we have some Levi Strauss shorts. I discovered that a pair of my shorts, I just decided I don't like the way they fit. They fit the waist fine, but the way the leg is cut, I don't like the way they move when I'm sitting and moving around, doing more than just walking. So I got these. I think it was like 7 bucks at a thrift shop. So I'll getting rid of the other pair and replacing them with these. And I'll be putting those to use in the very near future. I will not be putting this to use in the very near future. This is a Woolrich lamb's wool sweater, which is, you know, far too warm for right now. But I got it for $1. So a wool sweater for $1, and it's very light. As far as the thermal capacity, it's not very thick. So that'll be nice to just throw that over something, and for layering, because it's not too heavy. So there you go, folks. Some cool stuff. And that TI calculator is just great. I got to tell my friend Greg. He's going to smile, because he used to have one of these too. Of course, he actually knows how to use all the functions, because he's been to WPI. I've never been to. I mean, I've been to WPI. I've never attended WPI, because I'm just not that smart. There you go, folks. Some cool stuff for the video this week.